There's nothing more enjoyable than a really tasty stir fry, and this version I'm going to show you is a recipe we make in our cookery school for our half a day parents and children's cookery class. We get the children to cut up the vegetables, do the meat, so there's lots of good nutrients in it, and the key is really good quality ingredients. It's a really quick recipe I'm going to show you. First thing I need to do is to cook off my noodles. So these are called a 0-2 noodle, so they're made with fresh egg. And they're a really fine noodle, but any regular noodles or rice you can serve with this. I just have a saucepan of boiling water. I'm going to put in a couple of pinches of some sea salt, and then in goes your noodles, and you literally just leave that there. Just going to make sure I stir it through and the water comes to the boil, and then we'll just put it off to the side. So before I begin, we're going to show you a lovely marinade, because I have some of the beef marinade, and you can do this with chicken, pork, turkey, whatever you prefer. So this is a really delicious quick marinade. So we're going to use some of these two beautiful products. So this is a sweet chili sauce, and then this is a soya and ginger sauce, and these are made from a company called Follow Foods. So they're based just down on the Kerry Cork border, so they're really good products. This is the sweet chili sauce, so it's not very hot, so we're going to put this in here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the zest of some lime in this. So I'm using just my microplane, and we're going to grate this so we are. Now I will use the juice, but I'm going to keep this lime here for my actual stir fry that I'm going to show you now in a moment. Okay, to spice it up a little bit, I'm going to use this spice, and this is the Cajun chicken, or Cajun spice that I've used for the Cajun chicken that I done one of my videos. It's all organic. They're a really good company. They're based in Athlone. So I'm going to put in some of that. Before I do that, if we just look at the noodles here, they're already cooked, and I'm just going to let them sit. So I'm just going to make a bit of room, let them sit there, and then I'll strain them. It's as easy as that. So they're a 0-2 noodle, so they're a super fine noodle. And then I'll just strain them and then just serve them. So just to jazz this up now, you can use some hot chili, you can use some cayenne if you want to. It gives great flavour, this Cajun spice. And then we just mix this all together. So give it a nice little mix. So the lime is a little bit different. You can use lemon, and that's your marinade. See this marinade I've done here? This will happily keep in your, I'd probably keep it in the fridge in a little screw cap or a Kindler jar, and it'll keep up to a week, no problem at all. Really good with chicken, pork, lamb, you name it. It's gorgeous. So I'm going to show you what I've done with the beef. So I'll just pour that marinade. This has been marinating now for nearly about 2 hours. I've just taken it out of the fridge, covered it in cling film. I've taken it out of the fridge probably about maybe 15-20 minutes before you're going to cook it. The cut that I'm using is a strip loin. So it's a really kind of a beautiful flavoursome cut. You're looking for the Borbia quality mark, which is really important. So it's Irish beef, and I've just trimmed off any excess fat, and I've really cut it the size of your thumb. That's exactly what I've done. That's one steak there. So if you were doing it with a chicken breast, you do one portion of the chicken breast. Okay, we're going to heat the I'm kind of going to do it in two different stages. Seal off my beef in a moment, and then we're going to get our vegetables on first. So I'll just turn down my beef pan. Now the oil that I'm using, you know I'm a big fan of the rapeseed oil. This time I'm using some sesame oil. So that's what I have there. It's a toasted sesame oil. It's quite strong. I do like it, but it can be overpowering. So if you're not a fan, you can just leave it out. Okay, let's go through our vegetables. We're going to start just cutting our red pepper, roughly the size of your thumb. So I already have some done here. Some red onion. Again, slice it. I've just peeled the red onion. And we're going to put this all into the pan. So we're getting loads of lovely vegetables in here, so we are. So you're keeping all the goodness in the pan. Now, if you look at here, I love colour in food. So we have some yellow, red and green pepper. And I'm just going to pop that all in here. This is all going to go into the pan. Alright. So nice hot pan. You can do this in a wok. Lots of lovely colour. We're going to use some of this lovely baby corn. I find that the children really like this. So you don't have to, you can use some pak choy, you can use whatever kind of vegetables you like. That's about 3 corn. There we go. A little bit more oil, I think. We're going to crush in some garlic, and then what we're going to do, we're going to start to brown off our meat, so we are. Okay, I have some mange too here, but I don't want to put that in yet because that's not going to take long to cook. Food is so much about flavour and texture also. So 2 cloves of garlic, I'm just going to crush them in here. Just using my spatula, and then we're just going to let this cook off. Get a little bit of colour, not too much, You can use a wok for this. I'm using my skillet pan. This definitely is one pan that I use a huge amount. And normally what we do, like in the cookery school, we let the children cut all the vegetables so they feel they're having the experience and they're the real kind of chefs. And for me, you know, they come from about the age of 6 to about maybe 15, 16, where the love of food starts is at home. Like our twins are 8 and they enjoy cooking, they enjoy eating, which is very important too. But that's a beautiful thing, and it's a great thing for me as a chef once they enjoy food. So look at the lovely colour in there. So 1 clove of garlic. We could use some ginger in there if you wanted to, but I'm going to use the soy and ginger sauce in that. Okay, let's seal off our beef. We're going to use the tongs, and I'm going to lift it out of the marinade. Okay, I want this to be nice and hot. So we have it all ready, and we're just going to seal this off. Now remember, I've had raw meat in the actual marinade, so I'm going to put that into my vegetables. Now, so see the way I'm not dumping it all in. I want this to caramelise slightly, because what will caramelise is that lovely sugar in the sweet chilli sauce. So if we just get a little bit of colour here, that's cooking up really nicely. I'm happy with that. Make a little bit of room. Just shake the pan, and we're just going to have this really nice and crunchy. So roughly you use 1 steak per person if you want to, and then with all this lovely sauce or marinade, we're going to use it so there's no waste. But in case I forget, I'm going to put in the juice of the lime now, just while I'm waiting. So I'm just going to put it in here. So I've used the zest and then the juice, because if you put the juice in, it'll actually start to begin to cook your meat, and you don't want that. You want to cook it until it's nice and pink. And you'll see now in the pan now in a minute, it'll begin to caramelise. Okay, get a little bit of colour, there we go, just a little bit of brownness there, and keep it nice and high, so don't crowd the pan too much with it. So the Cajun spice is a lovely spice, you could use Chinese spice, but I really like those spices. They're all organic and they really are excellent, so they are. Okay, now we're cooking up lovely flavours. So I'm going to put in all my lovely marinade. I'm going to scrape it down, because don't forget you've had raw meat in here. So give that a nice little stir. I'm going to put in more of the soy sauce. You need to shake this, because there's ginger in this too. And then our meat, I want to cook it nice and pink. So I do, that's the way I like it. So when you cut it like that, see the way it's about the length of your finger or maybe index finger, it's not going to take long to cook at all. It really isn't. Okay, I can throw in my muns too. We're going to finish this with some lovely coriander. Just want to let this just cook for another minute. And then I can just strain my noodles. So these are the 0-2 noodles, just through a sieve. And that's them there. You can toss them in oil, but I'm going to serve them up pretty quickly. They don't take long to cook, and they're lovely in a salad. So for this stir fry, everyone, I want a little bit of texture. And I'm going to put in some of the toasted cashew nuts, which I really like. To toast them in the oven, under the grill, whatever. We're going to chop a little bit of coriander, and then our beef is going to go in to the stir fry. Let's give it, look at that. Lovely colour, really nice flavour, and that's going to go all in there, in on top of your lovely vegetables. So it doesn't take long. If you marinate the meat, the flavour you will get will be absolutely gorgeous. So look at the colour there. You want it nice and crunchy. So we're just going to chop this here. We're going to put a pinch of salt. You need to be careful of that, you know, especially with that soy sauce. Can be sometimes, you know, there is some salt in it. And then we're going to chop our coriander. So some lovely fresh coriander. Watch the fingers when you're doing this. See the way I curve my fingers. So a little bit of coriander or basil, whichever you like. And then this is going to go in here. You know, when kids do this, they're always a bit funny about herbs. So they are. Some of them like them, some of them don't, but usually basil is a good one. Coriander, I like it in certain dishes, and it's really nice in this. So if you just look closely just there at the lovely colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in my cashew nuts, and then we're going to serve it up. So the cashew nuts are already toasted, so we're just warming them up. And obviously if any of your children have a nut allergy, you're not going to be doing that. But I think the key is really good meat, lots of lovely vegetables. You know, and you can mix it up a little bit. I went for red, green and yellow peppers, baby corn. Like that there is a lovely dish. And if you want to, if you're doing this in a wok, I'd seal off my beef, take it off, then do your vegetables and add the beef in. So it's ready to be served. So I'm going to get my noodles. So you can just simply toss them if you want to with a little bit of oil. I'm not, I'm just going to simply put them onto the plate. I do like these, they're called a 0-2 noodle. And with rice, you can serve it, I wouldn't serve it with both, but you don't have to serve it with the noodles. Not everyone's a fan of the noodles, but I think it works really well. So give this another wee stir, we're ready to serve. Just have a little look at that, how colourful that is. It's just popping, so it is, and that's exactly what you want. Bring over your plate. So you're dividing, I mean, there's really enough for two. So when you think about one steak, you're packing it with vegetables, which is always lovely and healthy. And then the cashew nuts. So this adds so much lovely colour, flavour, you know, especially with the different coloured peppers. And I'm a big fan of peppers. Red onion too in there, baby corn, and get that lovely, lovely sauce. So just go over to the sides and then just tidy it up. And then just to finish it, I'm just going to get a little bit of fresh coriander, and that's it. You couldn't have an easier stir fry. So just a little bit of fresh coriander, adds so much freshness to it. We have the lime in there, so it should be lovely and fresh and zingy. And that is my Irish beef and vegetable stir fry with some cashew nuts. Now remember, I put some Cajun spice in with the beef. Don't have any chopsticks, I'm afraid, but I think that's a lovely, lovely dish. I'm serving it with noodles. You can serve it with rice, potatoes, whatever you want, even with chips. But I hope you try this recipe. It's super quick and super delicious and really healthy.